It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down beside you because you promised yourself you wouldn't check it. You feel broken. You feel like something is wrong with you. But the real answer is far stranger than insomnia. You are not malfunctioning. You are remembering. For most of human history, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a disorder. It was the plan. Your body isn't failing at sleep. It's running software that's millions of years old in a world that no longer matches it. Think about what a single night actually used to mean. No electric light. No locked doors. No street lights. Just darkness. And whatever was moving in it. Your ancestors didn't get to choose when they felt alert. Their alertness was choosing them. The historian A. Roger Ekirch spent years digging through diaries, court records, and medical texts from pre-industrial Europe. He found something strange repeating again and again. People described a first sleep and a second sleep, with an hour or two of quiet wakefulness in between. This wasn't rare. It was just Tuesday. During that waking hour, people didn't panic. They didn't reach for a screen because there was nothing to reach for. They prayed. They talked quietly with whoever shared their bed. Some got up and tended the fire. Others simply lay there, half awake, half dreaming, letting their mind drift in a state we don't really have a name for anymore. Here's the part that should stop you. That in-between state may not have been a flaw in their sleep. It might have been the point. So what changed? Light changed. Specifically, artificial light. Your brain doesn't actually want 8 unbroken hours of darkness. It wants darkness, full stop, in whatever shape it comes. For most of your species' existence, that darkness was total and immediate the moment the sun went down. There was no flipping a switch to keep the world bright. The body adjusted its internal rhythm to match a night that was long, dark, and uneven in intensity. Artificial light didn't just push your bedtime later, it changed your chemistry. Light, especially the kind pouring out of bulbs and screens, suppresses a hormone called melatonin, the signal your brain uses to begin shutting down for sleep. So the window for sleep got shorter. Not because your body suddenly needed less of it, but because the hours when your brain was finally allowed to power down got squeezed between artificial light on one end and an alarm clock on the other. You weren't designed to fit 8 unbroken hours into one tight block. You were forced into it. And somewhere along the way, that forced compression got mistaken for the goal. Is it really that your body needs exactly 8 hours straight? Or did you just lose the rest of the night to a light bulb? Anthropologist Carol Worthman, who has studied sleep across small-scale societies for decades, found a pattern that challenges the way most people think about rest. Sleep, she argues, was never meant to be a private, solitary act behind a closed door. It was social. People often slept in groups, near a fire, with some adults staying semi-alert through the night, almost like a rotating watch. A baby waking up didn't mean isolated stress for one exhausted parent. It meant someone nearby would respond, because nearly everyone was lightly tuned in to the sounds of the group. Doesn't that change how lonely 2 a.m. feels? Now picture the modern version. You sleep alone, or with one partner, behind a closed door, in a quiet room with blackout curtains. If you wake up, there's no fire to tend, no group to murmur with, no shared watch. There's just silence, a phone, and the creeping feeling that you're the only person awake in the world. You're not broken. You're alone in a structure your biology never expected. Here's where it gets stranger. That middle-of-the-night wakefulness may have served a purpose beyond just biology. For early humans living in small groups, Nighttime was dangerous. Predators moved at night. Rival groups moved at night. A species that fell into one deep, motionless, unbroken sleep for 8 hours straight would have been spectacularly easy to kill. A lighter, segmented sleep pattern with moments of alert wakefulness built in isn't a glitch. It's a survival feature. Your ancestors who slept too deeply for too long without waking simply didn't get the chance to pass that trait on as often as the ones who stirred, listened, and went back to sleep. You inherited the stirring. So why does it feel so different now? Because the context collapsed, but the instinct didn't. You still wake up. Your brain still goes on alert, but there's no fire to check, no rustling in the brush to investigate, no group to quietly confirm everything is fine. There's just you, in the dark, with a brain that's primed to scan for danger and nothing to scan. So it turns inward. It scans your to-do list instead. Your relationships, your finances, your mistakes. The threat detection system built for predators in the dark now searches the only available target, your own mind. That's not a coincidence. That's an ancient system doing exactly what it evolved to do, pointed at a world it was never built for. There's a deeper layer here, too. Carol Worthman's research suggests that this fragmented nighttime alertness wasn't just protective. It may have been useful. Some researchers studying pre-industrial and small-scale societies have noted that this quiet, wakeful period was when people processed grief, made decisions, told each other secrets they wouldn't say in daylight. The dark, semi-conscious hour wasn't empty time. It was thinking time, without the noise of the day pressing in. You still have that capacity. Most people just fight it now instead of using it. Consider what happens when you wake at 2 a.m. today. The instinct is to treat it as a failure, to check the time, feel a spike of anxiety, calculate how many hours of sleep you have left, and then lie there resenting your own body. That anxiety is modern. The waking itself is ancient. What if, instead of fighting the wakefulness, you treated it the way your ancestors might have? Not as an emergency, but as a known, expected phase of the night. A pause, not a malfunction. This doesn't mean insomnia isn't real, or that chronic sleep deprivation isn't dangerous. It absolutely is. And modern stress, screens, and schedules have made things genuinely worse, not better. But the framing matters. There's a difference between a body in crisis and a body following an old, quiet rhythm in a world that forgot the rhythm existed. Ekirch's historical research suggests that the segmented sleep pattern only started to disappear in the 1800s, alongside the spread of artificial street lighting and, later, electric light in homes. In just a couple of centuries, a sleep pattern that had likely existed for the entire span of human history was rebranded as a disorder. Doctors began prescribing treatments for the very wakefulness that was once considered completely unremarkable. You weren't taught to sleep the way your great-great-grandparents slept. You were taught to sleep the way a factory schedule needed you to sleep. 8 hours, one block, lights off, lights on, efficient, productive, and almost certainly mismatched with what your biology actually expects. So the next time you wake up at 2 a.m., staring at a ceiling instead of a fire, surrounded by silence instead of the quiet breathing of a group, remember what that moment used to be. Not a failure of sleep. Not a sign that something is wrong with you. Just an old watch shift, still running, long after the thing it was watching for disappeared. It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. And for the first time, maybe that doesn't feel like something is wrong with you. Maybe it just feels like something very old. Quietly checking in.